Hi, and welcome to the Math Review. In this lesson, we're going to go over how to divide whole numbers, also known as long division. We'll go over this example here. I'll make sure I go nice and slow, step by step. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We love to help. I hope you're ready, because here we go. So here's the example that we're going over. 825 divided by 3. But before we can actually do any division, we have to change this notation. I guess you could call this the standard division notation, but we have to change it into the long division notation. And before we can do that, we need to make sure that we know what number is what. In other words, which number is the dividend and which is the divisor. In this notation, the first number here is the dividend. And this number here, the second number, is the divisor. When we're using long division notation, the dividend is what's getting divided. So that's what's going to go inside the long division notation. So we'll write that here. And this means that the divisor, our 3, has to go outside the long division notation. Another thing I tell my students to do, because a very common mistake is students writing their numbers in the wrong columns, what I recommend they do is draw lines between their columns. This is just to make sure their work is done neatly and they're more likely to get the answer correct. So here are our steps. Step number 1, we have to divide. Step number 2, we have to multiply. Step number 3, we have to subtract. And step number 4, we have to bring down. Let's use this example as we go over each of these steps. Step 1 is to divide. And we're going to start from this left column here, inside the long division notation. So we're really just trying to divide 8, if it's possible. Can 3 go into 8? Yes. Well, how many times can 3 go into 8? Well, that would be 2 times. So we'll put that directly over what we're dividing, which is just the 8. And that's why we put the 2 here and not here. We're always putting it over the actual digit we're dividing. So now we go to step 2, which is to multiply. We're just multiplying this 2 that we wrote on top with the 3 outside, because 2 times 3 is 6. Step 3 is to subtract. So now I'll subtract that 6. And 8 minus 6 is 2. Then we go to step 4, which is to bring down. But what exactly am I bringing down? For that, we need to look to the column to the right. So right now we're here. The column to the right is here. So what we're bringing down is this 2. And we'll bring it down right over here. And then we'll repeat the process. But this time, what are we dividing? Last time we divided 8. After we bring down, we divide the new number formed by bringing down that number. So now we're trying to divide 22 by 3. And how many times can 3 go into 22 without going over? Well, that would be 7. So I'll put a 7 up here, because that is the right column of the number I'm dividing. That's why I don't write the 7 here. It has to be directly over the number you're working with. So we're dividing 22. We'll put that value over the end where the 22 is. Now we can go to step 2, which is to multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. So I'll write that here. Step 3 is to subtract. So I'll subtract 22 minus 21. And when we do that, we get 1. And our next step is to bring down. And what are we bringing down? We're bringing down this 5 from the column to the right. And that's going to go right down here, giving us the new number 15, and we'll repeat the process by trying to divide that 15. Well, how many times can 3 go into 15? Well, that would be 5. So I'll write a 5 here. Then we'll go to step 2, which is to multiply. 5 times 3 gives us 15. I'll put that here. We'll then subtract it, which we'll show here. And 15 minus 15 gives us 0. Now we can't do step 4 because there's nothing else to bring down. We've already reached the end of our value. And therefore, our final answer is 275.